Another new for 2019 coaster that I will be reviewing is Kentucky Flyer, a Gravity Group family Woodie that is super fun for coaster enthusiasts and families, so it was a fantastic fit for the park. It really is. Like, Kentucky Kingdom does a fantastic addition for the park almost every year, but today I'll be reviewing Kentucky Flyer. So the stats, it is only 47 feet, but again, it's a family coaster. It's 35 miles per hour. I mean, I guess it's pretty solid. It has no inversions and a short track length of only 1,288 feet, which is pretty small, but it packs a punch on pretty much on all the airtime hills. Now, to start out my experience on this thing, we spent a night and morning at Kentucky Kingdom, which the first day it was closed due to the weather, but the next morning when we went there, it was open because there was like almost nobody in line, so we rode it like 4 times in the front and 5 times in the back, and I think I got a good feel for it. Let's start off my first impressions. It's actually kind of confusing on, like, where the entrance is. Like, if you walk down like by the side of the water park, you'll find it. You'll go down a little ways. Down there's the Star Flyer, and to your right is the entrance with some signs about airplanes on the side, which is some theming. But actually, this coaster looks very small in person. It's only 47 feet, like I said, but it's a family coaster, which you have to take into account. But once you get into the station, it's pretty small, but it looks good, as you could see. And then you'll get into the Timberliner trains, which are super comfortable. Probably, in my opinion, one of the most comfortable trains out there. They give you some good room and look fantastic too, with that airplane, the propeller on the front, and the colors look really good. It's very stunning. Now, this coaster is set right by the water park on the back left side of the park, which was a little confusing to find when we first got there. But of course, also the GP will take a while to find it. So when I rode it in the beginning of the day, there was like a little to no station wait, which was pretty much a walk-on. That's why I got to ride it a total of 9 times, which was awesome. And another factor that is why they were booking the dispatches. I think it was about 50 seconds every run. They were also running 2 trains when there was nobody there, so that's great too. This is definitely a coaster that is like most parks should get as a family coaster. They are definitely not too expensive and deliver fantastic rides in every row, which I prefer the front over the back, which the airtime is stronger in the front. You are out of your seat a lot in this ride, which is pretty much the whole ride. I mean, the back is good too, but also the front gets the view, but I do prefer the front over both rows, which are great even in the middle, which I did also ride a couple times in. Now, the theme is pretty obvious, but not over the top. You don't need that much theming for an airplane theme, but it does have, of course, that airplane themed train. The signs in the line and all the things about planes is cool, and of course the name Kentucky Flyer, which is great. It's a great name because Kentucky and flying. I really did like the theme and the name. I think there's no coasters themed to planes, so this is a first, and it's pretty cool. Now, of course, the layout isn't out and back. It stretches along the back of the water park, and which the ride, the whole layout is pretty much airtime pops and the turnaround at the back, which is probably the roughest moment on the ride. For being a new coaster, it is a little rough. Not really one point of the ride is rough, but it's a wooden coaster. It adds to the experience, and it didn't really bother me. It's also short. It's a very simple of a ride course going through the out and back through little airtime pops, which are great, but it's pretty short overall in the ride time and in the length width, which now let's go through the layout. Of course, you'll leave the station, dip down, and go into this lift hill that feels fast, but of course, the height is small. Now, of course, then you'll go down, you'll take a slight bank to the right, and you'll dive down the drop. The drop was really good, especially in the back. For being short, you actually get pulled over like in most drops, but then you'll go down this double up that has some nice airtime, and then into some more pops of airtime. That's great. Then the turnaround, that is fine. It's probably the weakest part of the ride because of, the airtime pops, but it's great. At the end, you'll go of that turn, you'll actually go around to probably the best airtime on this ride. Of course, it's right after that turnaround. I was flown out of my seat, and then you'll go into the quad down. Definitely a smaller version of a normal quad down. Of course, it goes down just slightly on every hill. It really just feels like 4 normal airtime hills in a row. Not really like a quad down, for example. Lightning rods is very different. But then you'll go into another airtime hill, and then into the last pop into the brakes. Now, overall, this ride is a fantastic family ride. Probably one of, if not the best out there. It is great, and I will give it an 8. Like I said, it was super fun. The airtime really makes the ride, and you should definitely take a trip back to Kentucky Kingdom or a new trip to Kentucky Kingdom to ride this new credit. It's a fantastic ride experience. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, hit that bell icon to get notified when I post a new video. It helps a lot, and see ya.